Hey my loves, wagwan wagwan, welcome back to Jam and Cuisine. It's your girl Shanice. I hope everyone's doing great. As you guys can see in this video, we will be making some marbled chocolate chip cookies. This is almost like the Domino's marbled cookie brownie, but this is like the cookie form. Guys, these cookies were the best cookies I've ever made so far, and I'm so happy to share the recipe. As usual, I'm working on the blog post still, but as soon as I'm finished with it, the link to the full recipe with all the tips and tricks will be added down below in the description box. Let's jump right into the recipe. So of course, we're gonna make two separate cookie doughs for this recipe. First, we're gonna work on the brownie dough, and then we're gonna allow that to chill while we work on the chocolate chip cookie dough. So the very first thing I did was melted my butter along with my chocolate chips. So off camera, I added my butter, which was 4 tablespoons, that's a 1/4 cup of unsalted butter, to 1/2 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. I just added that to a small bowl and I melted it in the microwave. You could use the double broiler method for like a more accurate, consistency when melting your chocolate. So we're gonna pour that into our bowl. You want to make sure that it's cooled off a little bit. Then I added a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, mixed that in, followed by 1 large egg. You want to make sure that your ingredients are at room temperature, such as the eggs especially. So 2/3 of a cup of all-purpose flour, 1/3 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, a teaspoon of salt, which is very important, and a teaspoon of baking powder. We're gonna go ahead and fold that in. Then we're gonna add our chocolate chips. This is optional, but I love extra chocolate chips in mine. I never really measure the chocolate chips, but I'd say around 1/2 cup. We're gonna mix that in, we're gonna cover, and we're gonna allow this to chill in the fridge or freezer while we work on the chocolate chip cookie dough. So for our chocolate chip cookie dough, we have 1/2 cup of melted butter. That's unsalted butter. You wanna make sure that it is cooled off. We're gonna go in with our sugars, and I love to use both light brown sugar and granulated sugar for my chocolate chip at all times. So I'll be using 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, followed by a 1/4 cup of light brown sugar. We're gonna mix that all in. We're gonna go ahead and add a large egg to that. Mix really well. We're gonna go in with some vanilla extract, around 2 teaspoons. I never really measure vanilla extract, I just pour. Also guys, you want to make sure that you don't crack your egg straight into your batter. Like, that's not a good thing to do. I always do that though, but don't be like me. So we're gonna mix. Now we're gonna add our dry ingredients. I have a cup of all-purpose flour, followed by 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of cornstarch. I normally use baking soda for my chocolate chip cookie dough instead of baking powder, but I did not have any. However, you could use the baking soda if that's what you have. I also added a teaspoon of salt. Then we're gonna add our chocolate chips. I added around 1/2 cup, fold in. And then we're gonna allow our chocolate chip cookie dough to chill as well for around 20 to 30 minutes. I like to put mine in the freezer. After chilling, you wanna remove and allow it to just come back a little bit to room temperature. Oven should be preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So I used 2 tablespoons of chocolate chip cookie dough and a tablespoon of the brownie cookie dough to form my cookies. So once I have that 2 tablespoons of chocolate chip cookie dough, I separate it into 2 halves. Then I separate the brownie cookie dough into 2 halves as well. Then I do cookie dough, brownie dough, cookie dough, brownie dough, roll it together to form a ball. I hope that makes sense. We're gonna bake these at 350 for around 14 minutes. Of course, if you make them smaller, then you bake for a lesser time. Once you start to see those crispy edges starting to form, you want to pull your cookies right away, even if the top looks a little underdone, because they're gonna sit on the baking tray still for around 5 minutes, and they're gonna continue to bake on that hot tray. After letting it sit, you want to remove and put them on a cooling rack and allow them to cool entirely. You could also add some more chocolate chips while they're still warm. And there you have it, marbled chocolate chip cookies. These were so delicious. As I mentioned earlier, once the blog post is completed, I will add the link down below in the description box. There it will take you to my website. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up And if you're not yet subscribed, what y'all wait on? Come join the jamming family. Hit that bell so you're notified as soon as I drop a new video. Thank you guys for all the support. You guys walk good, stay safe. Until next time.